Welcome to Invest. We talk about investing, finance, and professional development. As the current time of 12:29 p.m. on Eastern Time on August 19th on Saturday. Hope you guys have a good week and also happy Saturday as well. Respect to Ethereum, $100,682, up about 1.26% so far. With respect to the overall market, as you can see, we've been experiencing some correction. And with respect to the technical level right now, let's plan on the next steps on what we should be doing. Should we be buying now or should we be selling now? Are we going to see more worsening of the situation that we see in front of us on a technical perspective? And then we can also compare that with Bitcoin and also look at some selective stocks as well. So take a look at on a high level. Right now we are at 1681. The respective level is basically approximating to the previous level that we've touched at 1650. So we're technically $30 above it. So we consolidate just around that level right now. As you can see, we also reach 1609 at one point. And 1609 again is not a real level. 1550 is a level. And what is the case of situation right now? You could see that we've been kind of gliding on a sideways fashion, and you could see that we had an exogenous affectation that drove the market to go down, and we are trading at 25 out of 70, very oversold below the 30 mark, which is already oversold. And on a weekly right now, you could see that we are also quite depleted at 45 out of 70. And then on the monthly, let's take a look what's going on. It's looking quite nice, bullish. We are still waiting for the golden cross to be formed on a monthly perspective. But with respect to is it a logical level to buy now, I would say daily and weekly looks quite promising. So it's a fair level to be buying at 1850, 1750, 1650 from there. And with respect to the exogenous factor that drove this, it gave us a great opportunity to buy in. So whoever actually captured that as the psychological factor versus the technical factor, create this margin of opportunity for you to capture. That was the opportunity for you to get in. So congratulations to the ones that bought in. But with respect to the current level of 1681, is still a fair level to be buying in. Bitcoin is also showing a similar affectation on the daily and the weekly. You can see that daily is quite suppressed at 20 out of 70 oversold. Weekly is also a little bit depleted, not as depleted as the daily, obviously, but daily and weekly looking quite fair. And then on the monthly, it is looking quite promising with respect to the golden cross about to be formed, but the cross section that will be translate into a bullish run, that wouldn't happen until much later in the year, right? So something to be patient about. And then take a look at the stock front, right? And we could take a look at the SPY real quick. You can see that the SPY has been correcting, right? We are daily 35 out of 70, so quite oversold. Weekly, it's about to form a death cross, so it does translate that we should see a little bit more of correction coming. Knowing the fact that we've been kind of running for quite some time from 377 all the way to 460 at one point, right? So this is long durated, long overstretch in terms of seeing some correction from here. And on some selective stocks, let's take a look at some of the stocks that got corrected recently, like PayPal. You could see that daily looking quite suppressed at 36 out of 70. We're clearly kind of rejecting the bottoms. So does seem like it's bottoming out. So it seems like a fair level to be buying in. The daily is also looking quite fair in comparisons to the overall market. So this does show relatively good fundamental stocks and with a huge discount for you to be getting in. Take a look at Tesla, which is a kind of a market indicator on seeing how the market's doing. The daily is looking quite suppressed at 27 out of 70, so it's actually quite oversold. The weekly is showing that we should see a little bit more of a de-escalation. So we are at the moment at 218, right? Take a look at this. It's basically consolidated at the previous level that we have reached before, somewhere November last year. But with respect to the current level, are we going to see lower level? I would say we are going to be touching $200 because of the death cross that we need to form. We also need to come down a little bit lower, just minimally 42 out of 70, but the worst will be 27 out of 70. So that means we can see if we break 205, we could technically see 160, 155 again. So that means we might see a little bit more of a sell-off coming, something to be aware of. But on the weekly, on the monthly, apologies, it is showing a sign of bullishness. But again, this is later in the year. I did remember that Thomas Lee from CNBC, he's a contributor that talks, I would say every bi-weekly or so. He did say that all-time high should happen by the end of the year. That's really contingent on the rate hikes. That's really contingent on if there's any exogenous factors. But I think with the monthly, on a technical perspective, it does show that there's a bullish signal that we should be expecting, combined with the Santa Claus effects that's happening around Q4. Is possible, but I wouldn't hold my breath because we might see some choppiness because we have already been extended for quite some time. To see some correction in the near term halfway to form the cup and handle would be, logical. And then as that durates, it can translate into an all-time high by the end of this year. So appreciate you for joining me today. Hopefully this was a quick recap on the technical front. Sorry for being a little bit delayed. I've been traveling a lot, and my schedule's also been crazy. Talking to people in different time zones and travel internationally as well. But appreciate your patience and let me know if you have any questions. And if you have any questions directly, just feel free to subscribe to our Patreon. It's more of a direct access to me to get in touch with me, and I'm happy to schedule Zoom calls with you guys. And but obviously there's a subscription fees for that. So anyways, appreciate you. Have a good day. Take care. Bye.